So hello, I'm Ixchel Ruiz. I'm a developer advocate for JFrog, and we're here at JFocus, and I'm here with Kelly. Kelly, how are you? Is this
Hi.
your first time at JFocus?
Yes, it's my first time at JFocus, and I really love it to be here again with the community because the community is just one big family, your second family. So it's so nice. And up front, I was like, really curious about JFocus, of course, and I didn't know. I did know what to expect because all these speakers were telling me JFocus is one of the best conferences. So, but sometimes you have that thing that if other people tell you about something, you have those high expectations, and or maybe not high expectations, but you expect something to be something in your mind, and then you can be disappointed. But for JFocus, it wasn't the case. It was just like all the speakers told me how it is if you're here, and it really does not disappoint me. It's so nice. But yeah.
Oh, well, I'm super happy. This is indeed one of the best conferences I have ever attended. But tell me about your session. I read a little bit about it. I couldn't attend, but it's on my list. And it was the Mr. Miyagi.
Yes. So I'm first of all, I'm happy that's on your list, and I'm really. If you have the time, I like to get some feedback. If you have the time for that. So yeah, my session. Yeah, I gave it for the 11th time now, and it's every time it's I'm getting the nerves again, of course, and it's exciting whether the public is whether the audience is enjoying it or not. But the room was fully packed. Actually, I think it was the biggest amount of people in the room I've ever had. So that was really nice. And yeah, I got many questions, so I think the public liked my talk. Yeah, and yeah, every time, 5 minutes before your talk, when you're on stage, you're so nervous. But after those 5 minutes, and after the first three words you spoke, it just feels like heaven. It's just so nice to be on stage and to tell the community what you're passionate about. So yeah, I don't have the anxious for speaking. Yeah, I really love it.
So, how this session came to be? Why were you so inspired about this particular topic?
So yeah, for those who attended my talk, they already know the story. I think so. It might be a repetition a little, but so the thing is, I have experienced mentoring since I was 10 years old,
Oh,
and it started with my own karate journey. So and my karate journey started with seeing the Karate Kid movie with Mr. Miyagi. So that's the link with the Mr. Miyagi thing. So I met my first mentor, which was my karate sensei, since I was 10 years old. And actually, during my whole life, I've experienced some kind of mentoring. Most of the time, the apprenticeship kind of mentorship. So the master apprenticeship, the mentor mentee form, and every time it was a difference as day and night for me. And I was a lawyer before I started as a software developer. And the thing is that so as a lawyer, I used to have a mentor too. It's even obligated to have a so-called patron in the Netherlands. So and then I made my first steps in the IT world during my career switch. And well, you're dealing with the same big problems, but just from another point of view. And I thought, why don't we have something like a mentor or so? So finally, I ended up with finding my own mentor. And again, I was experiencing it as a difference as day and night. And then it clicked, and then I thought, why don't we have some kind of mentorship here? I don't think we should make it obligated because there are cons of make it an obligatory thing. But I do think it can really bring value to the community. And actually, I I uh, I have even a bigger claim. I think it's kind of the only solution we have, because we are we are dealing with a skills shortage, and we don't look for juniors in our jobs regularly. The demand for juniors lags behind, and if we keep doing what we're doing now, we end up with a higher workload. So our excuse of not being a mentor most of the time is we don't have the time. But if we keep doing what we're doing now,
We will have
that
less.
problem will only get bigger. And besides that, mentoring is such a it's a form of learning. I describe it. I compare it with a kata in my talk. It's a way of learning which you cannot get from a book or any other kind of way of learning. And so yeah, I found my mentor again. It was a difference as day and night again. And then I thought, well, I should make a talk out of it. And I thought that because I know Edwin Derks. He was at my first assignment, so he was a team member. We didn't work for the same company at that moment, but we were consultants, and we landed in the same team with because of the assignment we had. And he was a speaker.
Oh.
And I thought I want to do that one day myself. So yeah, that's where the story ends. First, I got hired by Ordina, and that was also the company Edwin was working for. He's now working for another company, and so got hired by Ordina, and I attended a speakers preparation program. Let's call it like that way. And then I submitted, and my first submission was. No, I first wrote an article about it. That was the first step towards the talk. I thought, okay, if I can write an article, then the next step will be a talk. And I got nice feedback regarding my article, and then I made a talk out of it, and that was the end of
2022?
2021.
2021.
And my first call for papers got submitted, and it was DevNexus Atlanta.
Nice.
So and then people were telling me, "Whoa, that's not the smallest conference.
No,
you
it's a
did a
very
great
big-
job," and I had no clue. So it was quite nice. And so I ended up last year as a first year being a speaker with 10 conferences, and now at JFocus.
Oh,
My 11th, yeah.
no, but I see. Well, a few minutes ago, we had team calls here from Netherlands, and his session was learning through tinkering.
Oh, Tom, yes.
Yes, it is amazing.
Yes.
His session, and I said team. Did I say team? It's Tom.
Yes.
Yes. Sorry, Tom. My
And
bad.
he is from Belgium.
Yes.
Yeah. I thought you said he is from the Netherlands, but
Yes. I'm.
he's
Forget
from
about it.
Belgium.
Yes.
And it's Tom.
Yes.
People, it's Tom. And if you didn't see his talk, you should see his talk.
No, yeah.
And our talks are really complementary to each
Exactly.
other. So it's really nice to see them both.
Yes,
Um,
exactly. That's what I mean. I know him from several years, so I'm super ashamed right now. But I will blame my caffeinated or lack of caffeinated brain for that slip. But anyway, what I wanted to tell you is that these topics are so important into our industry because technology. Well, we are in technology, and that is important. But the human side, I think it's even more important.
Yeah.
So I'm super happy that you're bringing so much passion to this and helping create awareness in our industry because, as you said, this problem is exacerbating, and we need to create these spaces. So, what is any final or different thought about your session that you want people to keep in their minds?
Yeah. Don't. If it doesn't work out in one day, or if it takes longer, just keep going because you can't change the world in one day. So if you feel that mentoring is the right thing to do, keep on trying. And also, what I said in my talk, if one passionate person can change the world, uh, imagine what we can do as a community.
Okay. But are you referring as like keep doing it as a mentor or as a mentee or both? Actually, it applies to both, but
Yeah, it applies to both. Yes, it applies to both. But I think it's yeah, it's the I don't know if you say it in English. It's the same idiom, but it starts with the egg or the chicken.
uh-huh.
You know,
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's kind of that story. Of course, you need mentors and
It's
mentees,
both.
but yeah, both.
But in your experience, what was the thing more available, the mentors or the mentees? Like, because sometimes you have people that are willing to invest this time in other people, but I have also noticed people are like shy of asking for help. So I think we have like an interesting situation from both sides.
Yeah. So to answer your question, where do we have more from mentors or mentees? I don't know, but the thing is, I think there should be some communication or openness of the will to become a mentor or a mentee, or yeah, that.
Okay.
Does that answer
Well,
your question?
yes. No, actually, it is. I mean, you are so aware of this topic that when you're aware of this topic, you start noticing more things. So that's why I wanted to have your perspective. Like, I know that you're very passionate and you were on both sides of
Yes.
the story. So having that perspective, like being a mentee, and now you're moving towards mentor, to being
Yeah,
a
but I'm not
mentor.
a mentor yet, so I need to say that I've been asked to become a mentor. So that was really nice. At my first talk at FNexus, a woman come to me and she asked me to become her mentor, and then we had contact, but she found her own way in her company. So it hasn't been a setup yet. Maybe there will come a setup, but I let her free and I said, okay, if you need me, just ask. I'm there. I'm there for you if you need me. So that was kind of maybe my first mentor role. But for me, I was most of the time a mentee. Yeah.
Okay. So I wish you luck when you
Thanks.
cross that line.
Yes, I definitely will. And
No,
I
and I think you will be super successful. And the person that approached you and asked you to be her mentor or his or like the mentor, I think it's going to be very, very lucky.
thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much for being here. I enjoy a lot our conversation, and you should check her session. It's going to be it was recorded and it's going to be published at some point in the future. So thank you very much, Kelly.
Thank you for having me.